Oh, crap. What's up, guys? We're out here for streetcar takeover in the hatch. I got her entered in the stick shift class, so we're gonna have to be hitting third gear today, hopefully. I actually took it out last night, but we had some issues with the boost controller. If you guys remember, we took it to the Freedom factory and it wasn't building full boost, and I poked some holes in the line going to the boost controller, and then it was making boost again. So I ended up bringing it home last night. I ran an 11.0 yesterday letting off, and then a 10.8 letting off. The first pass it bogged pretty bad, and it just was not making full boost. So I brought it back to the house, triple checked everything, and I think there's just something up with the boost controller. I don't have any extra ones right now, and we've ran this thing on full tilt a lot in the past anyway, so I just completely bypassed the boost controller. I actually plugged the nipple right here that references the boost to the controller, so now the wastegate has nothing going to it, and it should be making all of it. We're going full send today with the hatch. It's not something we haven't done before. You guys have seen this thing on the dyno maxed out on this turbo. We ran it maxed out at Sick Week a couple times and FL2K, and it did great. So this turbo really isn't capable of damaging the engine with the kind of power it makes. The only thing that is going to be controlling our boost now is this guy right here. That is our boost controller, is back pressure. So we got the old back pressure boost controller on the hatch today, and there's a lot of fast cars in this class, so we got to turn it up and send it anyways. And we have one test pass today, and then they are going to be doing a chip draw, and we're going right into eliminations after that. So we'll see how she does today, and hopefully this first test pass proves that it was just the boost controller and there's no other issues. So she should be making a lot of boost right here. All right, first test trip of the day after 2 test passes last night with some boost issues. We just need the hatch to make full boost this time and just make it down the track. I know this thing can pop off 9-second passes like nothing, but we do have a couple really fast stick shift cars out here, so we need her on kill if we have any sort of chance on moving on through the eliminations.
All right, let's see what she'll do. Hell yeah, dude. 952, 141. That's what we wanted.
Oh, the hatch is ripping. Something don't feel right though. There's the boost. So we did a 9.5 at 141 with a 147 60 foot. Pretty good. But when I shut the car down at the end of the track, it felt like the rear brakes were a little bound up. Remember how they do that sometimes?
Yeah, with the e-brake thing.
Yeah, so I got to the end of the track and the whole car was just slowing itself down, and by the time I came to a stop, it was like struggling to move again. And I just pumped the e-brake a couple times and it seemed to free up, but I feel like it might have been doing that the whole pass because I think the boost was there, but normally we're tracking closer to 150 and we're down like 10 mile an hour, so I feel like the brakes might have been slightly bound up, which I don't know why it does that.
Inline staging brake, that's why.
Yeah, so might have to look at that, maybe jack the rear up, just make sure everything's free and not too sketchy, but Got our 9.
Not bad.
Just that boost controller, I'm telling you, man. I don't know what it was doing. I think we just got to put a new one on it. Something has to be up with it because obviously the boost is there now and she's back in the 9s. So we'll run with that, and if it's good to go, we're going right into eliminations. See if we can hold our own. So I'm looking at the log after that last pass, and we're gonna need some prayers for the eBay turbo in the comments, guys. We hit 46 pounds of boost, which is the most boost we have ever made in the hatch on that poor little eBay turbo. So safe to say we found the boost issue, but you can see that the boost tapers off by the end of each gear, and that's probably due to the back pressure building, possibly enough to open that gate a little bit, and we're definitely running out of efficiency on the turbo there. So got the boost issue solved. Our fuel looks great. We had this little spike here that we just got cleaned up. Everything else looks awesome. You can see how hard the boost fell here in second, but you know, it only dropped down into the mid 30 PSI range. So that's still plenty, boys. We're gonna leave it there. Our other option would be to put a line to the top of the gate and just really seal the deal, but she's making plenty now. I did have that slight issue at the end of the track where it felt like the brakes were kind of binding up on me. I could feel the car slowing itself down, and it's done it to us before. If I pull the e-brake really hard, sometimes the pressure doesn't get fully relieved and I just have to tap the brake pedal and that goes away. So it's done it to us. We got the car up on the jacks and we just rotated everything, double checked all the wheels, and everything looks good. Everything is freed up, and by the time I got it coming back down the return road, it felt fine. So after I just pumped the brakes up, it kind of unbound itself. It's definitely something we need to look into, but it doesn't lock the brakes up or do anything crazy enough to make it dangerous. It just adds a slight resistance to the car, but nothing I'm worried about since we've seen it happen before. But other than that, everything's looking good. She is making boost again, and we will wait till they call us up for eliminations. Figured I'd show you guys this K-swapped Scarlet that's over here. This thing is so sweet. Rear-wheel drive, big old precision turbo. This thing is badass. So we just drew our chips and we're going up against this red Mustang right here. We'll give it our best shot. How fast does this thing run?
That's just going like 8 seconds. Spicy in there.
We have yet to do
The
AIDS.
clutch is slipping right now, so
We'll see what happens.
so yeah, we'll see what happens.
Give it our best shot, boys.
Should be good, Robin.
Don't worry, Hatch. It's just an 8-second Mustang. We got this. You were born to beat Mustangs on the highway. We can't let him win. Hey, when he's up there, can you just go push him so he red lights?
Flinch at him. I might just push his car past him.
Yeah, just push him.
Yeah, I
Just
got
push him real hard so he red lights and we win, you know?
it. I got you, bro.
We got to do something here.
Yeah, man. You gotta let me check his tire pressure real quick and then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Let it all out.
He's never been 8s before, guys. We got to get him on that tree. That's all. That's our only hope.
Alright guys, now coming up for round 1 of stick shift eliminations. Going up against that 5.0 Mustang with an on-3 turbo kit. Let's see what we can do here.
Alright guys, here we go. First round of eliminations. I'm going to be as optimistic as I can, but we got to face facts here. We're going against an 8-second Mustang, and the hatch has never been in the 8s. So we'll give it our best shot.
Sucks. 9-1 to a 9-6. Unfortunately, that's all she wrote, my guy.
Looked good in the beginning.
Didn't have enough for this stick shift class.
Jesus. Where's your nitrous bottle?
For real.
We need one of them things.
Need 3 kits on that poor car.
On that big job, you'll have that.
Yeah, we were outgunned in this class anyways.
Yeah,
I mean,
look who's in this class
it
too.
was coming up next. Not this good.
Truck on truck race.
definitely not right. Right as I was pulling back to the trailer, it was binding up really hard. I heard a loud pop, and it smells really bad. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Dude, something is not right in there.
Yo, what happened? It smells like popcorn.
They literally made it right here, and then something popped. And then there's this little spot of fluid. That is something in the all-wheel drive system, it seems like. The little transfer case was just oozing fluid and just smoking. Jeez, that was definitely what was wrong with it the last pass. It's probably why it's down on mile an hour. Because it almost feels like the brakes are like bound up, but I think it's the all-wheel drive like fighting something. Yeah, that is not good, boys. That is not good. All the gears feel okay, so hopefully it's nothing major in the trans. That transfer case was just spewing fluid though. That was wild. That can't be good. Dude, that fluid is steaming coming off of there. Safe to say, I think we cooked her. Well, guys, that's definitely gonna do it for the hatch. That race would have been real good if we didn't have that all-wheel drivetrain binding issue. That's definitely why our mile an hour is down, because it normally goes in the 150s, and we would have been right there next to him. Our 60 foot was good. We actually out 60 foot him. Tree was pretty good. It was a good race overall, but as you guys just saw, something in that transfer case or in the trans is not right. It was puke and tranny fluid. It literally popped right here. I drove it all the way back. Everything felt good. I think the transmission itself is fine. It was shifting good, but something popped right here and started leaking fluid as I drove up, and it started smoking like crazy. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing loaded up. I guess we had to get it out and race it at some point anyways. The all-wheel drive system in the hatch has been really good for us. We haven't had to touch one thing since we got it all put together, except for the rear axles on sick week. So besides the one transmission failure, the all-wheel drive stuff has been the same since we put it together. So we'll just have to get her back and look at it, but that's gonna do it for Street Car Takeover. A couple 9-second rips, and then we broke her. So we got a slight issue here. That is not looking good, boys. So we ended up getting the transfer case pulled off of the hatch, and the damage isn't as bad as it looked. It seems like this bearing right inside of here is blown out. So this has a whole bunch of play, and you can see the spider gear rubbing on the side of the housing there. And you can actually see the yoke right here where the drive shaft was connected, just moving around as we turn the tires over, and that spun the drive shaft. You could just see that this was all loose and coming apart. So luckily, no gears actually broke. Everything in the trans looks okay. And then the spider gear and shaft that go to that guy all look okay too. They're just covered in metal shavings from grinding on the side of the case. But it looks like that was all due to this bearing in here going out. And this guy was actually bound up on us. It was really hard to spin at first. So we're thinking this bearing going out is what was causing those issues and slowing the car down and making it feel like the brakes were on, because if this is binding up really tightly, then that grabbing the drive shaft is just going to slow all of the drivetrain down. So we'll have to tear it all the way apart, see if this housing is savable. It sucks because it is the nice billet drag cartel housing. If it's reusable, we'll probably be able to put a new bearing in there and reassemble it, but we don't have it all the way apart yet to confirm that. And we're gonna check out some other stuff on the hatch before we get it all back together. We're gonna double check the viscous coupler and things like that as well. Make sure nothing in the all-wheel drive system is damaged, but that's all it was. So hopefully just rebuild the transfer case, get everything back together. We'll go ahead and inspect everything, but that's what caused it. So maybe if that wasn't broke, we had a chance against the Mustang, but that's gonna do it for Street Car Takeover. Thanks for watching.